Good morning and welcome back to Ask Moses. Happy New Year to everyone out there. My name is Moses Wiles and I'm the landlord-tenant mediator for the city of Takoma Park. I'm joined as always by my colleague, Ms. Jean Kerr, a housing specialist. The topic today is defective tenancy, which is governed by Chapter 6.16.140 of the City Code. Excuse me. A defective tenancy is defined as any condition in a rental facility which constitutes a violation of the terms of the lease or provisions of the law governing rental housing in Takoma Park. A defective tenancy may be caused by either a landlord or a tenant. An example of a defective tenancy caused by a tenant would be someone who does not maintain their rental unit in a clean and sanitary manner, or possibly a tenant having more people living in the rental unit than are permitted on the lease. A defective tenancy caused by a landlord is their failing to make repairs on the rental property.
Thank you, Moses, for the summary. But now I'd like to ask a few questions that represent common scenarios for renters and landlords. I noticed there's a leak in my ceiling. What is my responsibility as a tenant?
Your basic responsibility is to let the landlord know of this issue. We always suggest letting the landlord know in writing so that you'll have a record as to when the landlord became aware of the issue.
My tenant called stating there's a leak in their ceiling. This was not the case when they moved in 2 months ago. What are my responsibilities as a landlord?
Landlord's responsibility is to always remedy the issue at the rental unit, regardless of the fact that it wasn't there 2 months ago.
If I make my landlord aware of rodent infestation in my home, how long does he or she have to respond to me?
The code indicates 7 days.
Every time I see Mr. Joe, the maintenance worker at my apartment complex, I tell him I need a new doorknob for my front door. Today, it fell off. Now what?
Well, Mr. Joe is not the person that you should be advising of this issue. You should be contacting the landlord.
My tenant would not allow me to treat her unit for bed bugs. What should I do?
Well, the tenant has clearly violated their lease if they are not letting you enter their unit to treat for bed bugs. The remedy would be a notice to vacate that you can give to the tenant.
I sent a family in my building a lease violation notice for failure to maintain the unit in terms of housekeeping. They have not remedied the issue. It's been 30 days. What can I do at this point?
Well, if you've given them this prior notice, a notice to vacate would be the route for the landlord to then take.
My tenant has created a defective tenancy by ripping out all the smoke detectors in his unit. This caused the unit to fail its annual inspection. May I file a formal complaint with the city?
Well, this is such a grievous violation of the lease. Probably the landlord in this case would just go ahead and give the tenant a 30-day notice to vacate.
Also, I'd like to file a formal complaint against my landlord. How do I do this?
Well, you start by calling our office. We'll then contact the landlord to see what the issue is. We'll then try to mediate between you and the landlord, and if that fails, the issue might be heard by COLTA.
What is COLTA? How can they help me? Maybe I should just obtain my own lawyer.
Excuse me. COLTA is the acronym for the Commission on Landlord-Tenant Affairs. It is comprised of city landlords, tenants, and city owners. They hear cases that our office cannot mediate. You always have the option if you want to obtain a lawyer.
Is COLTA free?
It certainly is.
Okay, so I will go with COLTA. Thank you.
Okay. In all of these instances, if you'd like to engage the Housing and Community Services team as it relates to your request, feel free to give us a call at 301-891-7119 or submit a request using the My TKPK app or website at tacomaparkmd.gov/services/my-TKPK. Please take note of the address.
Happy New Year, everyone. We look forward to engaging more in 2018.